Hello chickies, welcome to the Fully Booked Penguin channel. I am Hannah and today we are doing our August TBR. So August is actually my birthday month, so I thought we would still do my TBR jar, but it would be very much catered to whatever I want. So if I want to read 27 manga or manhwa, we're going to do that. It's whatever taste I want, rather than being really specific to the prompt. If I don't like one, it's going back in the jar. Because I can. Because it's my birthday month. I'm in my little off-brand hoodie because it's cold currently in Australia, and we're going with comfy because I can. As of time of filming, I haven't really completed my July TBR. Let's just say I haven't had a great month. But we're still doing our August because why not get the video out to the people. So the theme of today is whatever I want, I do. Because we become entitled when we have our birthdays. Not really. I just want to have a good month. So we have our first prompt here, which is going to be... The jar is getting low, by the way. A little pink prompt. A nature word in the title. Nature. Poplar? Nature. Dawn? Dawn and moon? Is that nature? Windy poplars. Poplars is a tree, I believe. So, our next book in the Anne series is Anne of Windy Poplars. Anne of Green Gables. Book 4? Book 4. It says 4 right there. Why not? Let's have a little Anne moment. So our first one for the prompt, a nature word in the title, is going to be Anne of Windy Poplars, book 1. Cute. Okay, the prompt number 2, a book published this year. It's technically come out this year, but the main manhwa has come out online before this year, but it's getting published traditionally physically in English, official translation, or there's a lot of counts family, or any of them really. See, it was first published in Korea in 2022, but the English edition is 2025. Okay, our next choice is actually going to be A Fierce Devotion by Laura Frantz. It's releasing at the very end of July, so I'm going to go with the new release. I know, unheard of on this channel, but I mean, you know, the prompt is a book published this year. So, like, I could cheat and say the English publication, like I could. But I'm going to take a dive into a historical romance. So we're going to go through the books at the end of this video, but for now, it's A Fierce Devotion by Laura Frantz is what we're going to do for that prompt. Prompt number 3. It is a graphic novel, manga, or manhwa. I can choose whatever I want. Here's my options. Wait, that's not a manhwa, that's a light novel. But all of these ones. So to quickly run through, we have Yearn of the Dawn. We're up to volume 30. We have Dark Moon, which is the Enhypen manhwa, which is a K-pop group, and we're up to volume 2. Then we have volume 1, Snow White with the red hair. We have A Stepmother's Martian, which is the latest one, and then I'll be waiting for the next release, but this is volume 5. Good thing I can read Roman numerals. There's Father, I Don't Want This Marriage, and this is volume 2 of it as well. And then we have Skip Beat, volumes 16 to 18. I'm doing 3 at a time, but technically 3 books in one, so all volumes. I do love Skip Beat. I feel like I can use the other prompts for these other ones, so we're going to go with Skip Beat. Prompt number 4. Oops. Historical or war novel. And I know it says novel, but it's just book. What do I feel like? A Stepmother's Mansion is very historical, you know, political, royal happenings going on. So I think we're going to go with that for that prompt. Why? Because I can. Prompt number 5. A book with a great first sentence. What do you have to say, Kale? Kale Henneter stood atop the roof and surveyed the area. It's not really that great, is it? My pile is just more messed up than before, but who cares? Nancy Drew, The Secret of the Old Clock. Nancy Drew, an attractive girl of 18, was driving home along a country road in her new dark blue convertible. Not super interesting. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. And that is what we're going to go with for a book with a great first sentence. For 5. Okay, so this is number 6. We're going with 8. Why? I don't know. Because it's the 8th month. A book with no person on the cover. No person, but it's a giant book. I think all of them have people on the cover. So for this month, we're going to put that back. We're going to put that back. Okay, book number 6. It's Yona of the Dawn, which is Yona of the Dawn volume 30. Prompt number 7. Another yellow. A book about royalty. It's not really about royalty, it has royalty in it. I mean, this one, he's a prince. The male main character is a prince. In this one, the male lead is a prince. And in this one of the male leads is a prince. So again, we're going to go... No, to be fair, I do have currently 3 books. So I'm allowed. I currently have 2 mangas. So let's go with another manhwa. So we have Father, I Don't Want This Marriage, and then Villains Are Destined to Die, Volume 4. Prince. I think they're both daughters of dukes. I think we're going to go with Father, I Don't Want This Marriage. There you go, for that prompt, wherever I put it. Our prompts are getting very low. There's like 7 prompts left for next month, and then we'll have to think of something new. A book that has a movie/TV show adaptation. Look, technically Nancy Drew has a movie, not necessarily about this case, but Nancy Drew in general. It's between these 2. Nancy Drew or Snow White with the Red Hair. And I think I'm going to go with Nancy Drew. Add a little mystery to my month. So we have Nancy Drew, The Secret of the Old Clock, which is actually the first book of this Nancy Drew series, Mystery Stories. Let me go through all the books for August, my birthday month. First up, I have to tell you about 2 books that I'm beginning as buddy reads. So on top of the other books we have. One will be finished during August and the other will not. It will just be started. It's our new buddy read book. First up, we have Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone by J.K. Rowling. I've been trying to get through Harry Potter series for a friend, and I was stuck on a very big book, and then a friend of mine was like, look, I've never read them, so we're going to do it together. But if we come across anything that my friend is uncomfortable with, then obviously we're just going to pause there, but I think it should be okay. So we have Harry Potter, which we're going to read a chapter a day. There's only 17 chapters, I think. Oh, sorry. Harry Potter is about a boy who is orphaned, but he lives with an aunt, and they treat him cruelly, and he lives under the stairs, and suddenly one day he gets a letter. Multiple letters, because the uncle keeps throwing them out, and they mysteriously keep getting delivered. And so Harry sets off for our school, because he's actually a wizard. And at this school, mysterious happenings happen. So he starts his wizard journey at school. It's a middle grade fantasy book. And then we are also starting Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. It's book 3 in the Throne of Glass series, except that it's technically for me book 4 because I read The Assassin's Blade as well. But it's a prequel series. As usual, not my favourite. We shall have to see what happens in this one. So far, I'm kind of about the series. But as long as they keep a few of my favourite characters, I highly doubt I will ever see Ress again. But, you know, who knows. Anyway, so we're going to read 5 chapters of this a week, and I will let you know what I think of it. And it is about an assassin called Selena. She goes through adventures. She used to be the assassin king's daughter, but then she became Darlin's king's assassin, but then she also just recently quit that as well, went on a mission to somewhere, and that's where we are now. But there was a lot of mystery at the castle, which we've been solving, pretty much black magic and stuff going on there. And yeah, I don't really love Selena. She hasn't grown on me yet. We'll have to see if she does. Maybe this one takes on a different vibe than the first 2 or 3, and we'll see what happens in that one. Okay, next up we have Anne of Windy Poplars, which follows Anne of Green Gables, or Anne Shirley, and she is currently engaged, but she goes off to teach while Gilbert, her fiance, is training to be a doctor, and etc, etc. And this is her tales at this school teaching, where she meets new people, the Pringles, not chips, people, the Pringles, and yeah, it's a chaotic time. But there's that one, and that was for the prompt, a nature word in the title. And of course, Anne of Green Gables series is by Lucy Maud Montgomery. The next prompt we had was a book published this year, and I'm actually going to go with Laura Frantz's new book, which is going to be A Fierce Devotion. And it is about blue, I think, blue. I'm going to call him Blue. I don't know if that's correct pronunciation, but Blue Gallant has little on his mind but survival as the tumultuous French and Indian War comes to a close. And he crosses paths with Brielle Farrow, a woman whose presence stirs something in him he cannot explain nor express. This is released on the 30th of July. So I shall give it a read. And it is a Christian historical romance. A graphic novel, manga, or manhwa, and I chose Skip Beat, which is a 3-in-1, 16 to 18. And Skip Beat is by Yoshiki Nakamura. So this series follows Kyoko, who is a young actress. She actually joined the acting world to gain revenge on a childhood friend who betrayed her, and then her other friends in the acting world. And though she joined for revenge, she actually loves acting, is quite talented at entering into different roles. I think currently a lot is happening with the Shotaro, or the childhood friend who betrayed her, and there's a creepy other dude hanging around. And Ren, who is the senior actor in her company, he's really famous. He's getting a little bit jealous, a little bit protective, and we love a little bit of protective jealousy, not overly, but just speech. So that is Skip Beat. So it's a contemporary romance shoujo manga. Stepmother's Mansion Volume 5, and this follows Shuri, who time travels back in time to the time when her husband, who was more like a friend to her, because a whole heap of stuff happened. He was pretty much training her to be the Marchioness until his own son came of age and was in a position to take over the family, and so she was put in place in order to protect the family, the estate, from other people and outside forces. And there's a whole heap of stuff to do with the church going on, and then the royal family as well. There's a lot of back and forth, but Shuri just wants to keep her little family together and do it differently than her first run through, where she ended up dying and thus reversed. So she wants to do things a little bit differently, care for her family, and win them over ultimately. So in this one, I don't know quite where we're up to. We're just past a time skip, so they're all a little bit older. Yeah, there's other allies and intrigues going on. So there's that one. I also think that one of the kids is getting in a bit of trouble, so we'll have to see what goes on there. And it is a fantasy manhwa with a bit of romance trickling in now, but it was mostly just, yeah, political intrigue stuff going on. And the original story was by Spice and Kitty, but the art and illustrations is by Orca, which is gorgeous, if I do say so myself. And next for the prompt, a book with a great first sentence, which shows Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and this follows the Bennets, mainly Elizabeth Bennet, or Lizzie, and sort of the Regency era happenings of society and in a small town, and you know, different gentlemen coming in to the town, and you know, different romances, different secrets, bit of pride, bit of prejudice, but just a classic book. Pretty sure people know what Pride and Prejudice is roughly about, but there we go, we're gonna read that one. The next prompt we got was Yona of the Dawn. It was just telling us to read Yona of the Dawn, volume 30. And so Yona of the Dawn is by Mizuho Kusanagi. And in Yona of the Dawn, we are following Yona, who is a princess of a land, but her father gets killed and the throne is usurped by, I think, some sort of cousin. And then she runs away with her bodyguard Hack, and they have to find these dragons. And while she collects these dragons, she's actually helping out her country, just in a sort of background way. She doesn't want to take back the throne necessarily. She just wants to make sure her country, which she was oblivious was suffering so much, that it is cared for, and that all these different enemies and wars going on, you know, don't affect the people as badly as they would if they weren't there to protect them. Currently, some of the dragons are being captured and turned like against the other dragons, other people, because there is a weird culty person who wants to grab the dragons and use them for themselves, you know, and doing experiments. And so they've captured Yona and some other ones, and so it's all interwoven. And Hark is leading an army, which is doing really well, but he doesn't know currently that Yona is captured. So we'll see what goes down there. And it is so a fantasy romance manga. A book about royalty, and I chose Father, I Don't Want This Marriage. And so the art is by Roel, and the original story is by Hong Hee-soo. This one is an isekai, so she knows the story of how she went through, this character went through, ended up getting framed for poisoning someone important, and then she ended up dying because of a few different things. She ended up stabbing herself to escape from the torturous hell that she was about to face. But she is now a different girl, isekai'd into the world. She's like, I don't think I want that, so let's not do that. But she meets her father's like protege, and you know, there might be some hidden identities that she's not aware of, let's just put it that way. But it's really her winning over her father, but not really. She just wants to live safely, but in the process she wins people over. She discovers this past that she didn't know and all that sort of stuff. So it's a fantasy romantic manhwa. And then finally we have Nancy Drew, The Secret of the Old Clock. And in this one we are following Nancy Drew, who is a young sleuth, 18-year-old, and she's traveling somewhere to get to somewhere. I believe it's middle grade, but it's just a mystery series. It's a classic. The only thing I do want to mention is that I read book 2 of this before I bought the series, and I've got to say her ability to follow the law, you know, other teenage detectives, they sort of break it and they do not follow the correct procedures, whereas in this, her father is a lawyer, and so she actually obeys, like, laws. Trespassing laws and things like that. She's like, oh wait, we need permission to do this. What a smart lass. Anyway, so that is our final book. It actually gives us quite the pile. I mean, most of it is manga and manhwa, which is really easy to read. And then we got one digital. I won't be finishing that one this month though, so what? It's like 9 books. It's fine. Thank you everyone for joining me for this little video, this little birthday selection. As I say, I only skipped once, so that's good, right? It's okay. And I just chose my favourites for the month, which I'm allowed to do. So technically I'm allowed to do it any month. Like, no one's out there being like, you can't choose that book. But sometimes I feel like I have to choose an actual book rather than just a manga and manhwa. Not that there's anything against just reading manga or manhwa, but, you know, sometimes I feel pressured, even though there's no one pressuring me. So hopefully it's going to be fun. You can join me for, I think I have a reading vlog going up, and then my wrap up and all different things going up. I upload on Australian Tuesdays now, just 1 video a week, because I am going to be doing other stuff to do with my writing personality, you know, my author stuff. So reading is kind of, and booktube is kind of here, and I'm all over the place, so don't even at me. But hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I shall see you all in the next one. So until then, peace.
226